Sometimes when you're citing evidence, you're going to come across evidence that already has dialogue in it. And so when you're citing dialogue, you'll notice that there's already quotation marks in what you want to cite. So, for example, if I look at my text excerpt here, I have down there said bod, we go down there. So, in some of the text that I want to cite, if I want to take those lines, I need to make sure I cite a certain way because I'm citing dialogue. So, for example, I'm trying to pull this evidence right here for my dialogue. So you'll notice that I have to make some changes when I'm citing to really show my reader that yes, I'm citing evidence, and within this evidence, there are lines that are being said aloud by the characters in the story. And since my quotation marks when I'm citing evidence show that I'm taking lines from a text, I use a different type of quotation mark to show when I'm including dialogue in my evidence. So, for example, in this evidence, I have Bod thought about the reassuring things that he could say, like, there's nothing bad down there. This is something he would say aloud, and in the text, it's in quotation marks, so I need to make sure that over here, I put a single quotation mark. Instead of putting two, I put one, because that's how I show I'm citing dialogue. If I continue on, but the tales of hair turning white and people never returning meant that he could not have said them with a clear conscience. So he said, again, this is something he's saying aloud. So you'll notice right here I have a single quotation mark instead of the double. I'll go down. You wait up here. You wait for me up here. At the end of what he said aloud, I have another single quotation mark. So every single time there are lines that are being said aloud, I'm showing that with my use of the single quotation mark. And that's showing the dialogue in the text, just as I would cite it in the text. So you want to make sure that when you're citing dialogue, you use the single quotation marks. At the end of it, you'll see that it's still something that's being said aloud. So it says, I'll go down, said Bod, and I'll see who's there. And I'll come back and tell you all about it. Because the quote is ending with dialogue, I have my single quotation mark, but then I also have to show that that's the end of the evidence I'm citing. So I have my regular quotation mark, I have the page number this came from, and my punctuation on the outside. So whenever you are taking evidence from the text that is dialogue, you have to go in and change the marks, change the punctuation marks from the double to the single to show that it is dialogue in the text.